A good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a very productive Thursday. Now here's a sneak peek of our edition. President Paul Kagame on Thursday, the 3rd of April, issued a rallying call for African leaders to take daring actions in embracing artificial intelligence and ensure that the continent is not left behind in the technological revolution. The Ministry of Unity and Civic Engagement, Minubumwe, assures Rwandans that preparations for the commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi are progressing well, both in Rwanda and abroad. On the international scale, central Khartoum lies in ruins, its streets a grim reminder of 2 years of urban warfare. As displaced citizens return to a city unrecognizable, the task of rebuilding seems overwhelming, with authorities promising recovery amidst the harsh reality of widespread destruction. Once again, we're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali, and my name is Martina Avera. Let us begin our bulletin by informing you that President Paul Kagame on Thursday, on the 3rd of April, issued a rallying call for African leaders to take daring actions in embracing artificial intelligence and ensure that the continent is not left behind in technological revolution. Adam Squizera with more.
Home to the largest and fastest growing workforce in the world, Africa, which is set to play a significant role in the global AI ecosystem. This was among the discussions reiterated for the today's summit, exploring both the challenges and opportunities in advancing inclusive and resilient growth. The managing director of the Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution, Krista Ruggieri, emphasized that the future direction of the world calls for Africa to integrate artificial intelligence into their life, with a particular workforce on empowering the youth.
Africa is uniquely positioned to shape the trajectory of AI, driven by our greatest asset, our young, vibrant population. By 2035, Africa will have the world's youngest and largest workforce, a demographic dividend that is poised to drive immense economic opportunity. In the room today, we have over 400 young AI enthusiasts, including students, engineers, and entrepreneurs, digital natives, eager to harness the full potential of AI in Africa, not just as consumers, but as pioneers, building impactful solutions for their communities and for the world.
President Paul Kagame issued a rallying call for the African leaders to take actions in embracing artificial intelligence AI and ensure that the continent is not left behind in technological revolution.
For now, technological development is concentrated in few countries. Africa cannot afford to be left behind, once again playing catch-up. We have to adapt, cooperate, and compete, because it is in our best interest to do so. That's why we are here.
Togo's President Faure Gnassingbe, who is among the participants at the summit, emphasized that Africa should develop its own technology rather than relying on the others. He stressed that this effort should actively involve young people.
Our youth should benefit from massive funding and training in order to access global work market, which keeps growing at a fast pace. Our natural resources will be necessary in future decades in order to build, to power, or to refresh AI infrastructures in the entire globe. Africa should not give their rare resources, their water, their wind, and its land, of course, is sun without equitable benefits. For all those reasons, we need to build a digital, realistic and targeted sovereignty.
The head of state cautioned that without reliable high-speed internet and a stable power supply, Africa would face challenges in integrating AI into its economies. He urged governments and the private sector to invest in modern infrastructure to support AI adoption.
Number one is digital infrastructure. Without reliable high-speed internet and power supply, artificial intelligence cannot be deployed. Number two is building our workforce to meet the demands of the labor market. The bottom line is that Africa needs its own data scientists, engineers, and cybersecurity experts. Actually, Africa has them. In Rwanda, we have established several centers of excellence to equip our young people with the skills to perform these jobs.
By 2030, AI stands to add $19.9 trillion to the global economy, injecting $2.9 trillion to Africa's economy. This could lift 11 million Africans out of poverty and create 500,000 jobs annually. Maximizing the tremendous benefits will require Africa's leaders to navigate complex economic, social, and geostrategic dynamics, and a shared vision for Africa's leadership in the age of AI.
I would look to two things. One is this regulatory alignment that actually avoid.
Not moving far from the summit, investors attending a conference on the use of artificial intelligence in Africa, along with leaders of major companies utilizing this technology, have stated that the projected benefits could reach nearly $5 trillion by 2030. This will be possible if Africa embraces integrated investments and young people are trained in the use of AI technologies.
In a dialogue, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, explained that Africa has significant opportunities to capitalize on artificial intelligence, especially when driven by the youth.
The U.S. invests $285 billion in AI, and this on an annual basis. In China, it is $95 billion. So what we need on the continent is to mobilize financial resources, and we'll need to find innovative methods to mobilize those resources, and I must congratulate the creation of a fund for the digital transformation and the creation of a fund for the AI, which should stem from this summit, that will go towards the development of AI on the continent. An aspect that I believe is important is that the Commission has developed partnerships, and we cannot do away with partnerships, especially when it comes to technology transfer and knowledge transfer. And the Commission has established a partnership on the continent with the African Development Bank, and particularly in regard to the Coding for Development, which is the development of literacy when it comes to AI on the continent. Our youth must be able to develop startups.
A Zimbabwean investor in technology who founded and leads the prominent company Econet Group, which has built over 120,000 kilometers of broadband infrastructure across the African continent, highlighted that he has been using AI for over 6 years. He emphasizes that AI should be taught to the youth to ensure the bright future of the continent is in capable hands.
We have to go back and focus fundamentally in the education system. That's where we start. Okay. Our young people, we have to skill them. We can be hustlers, yes, and we're a continent of hustlers, but a hustler with no skills in the age of AI will sleep hungry. Okay? We need to skill them. And the tools are there right now. It's not tomorrow. We can skill millions of our kids for the age of AI.
On the other hand, for the continent to align its development with the use of artificial intelligence, political will alongside investment is necessary, as noted by Doreen Bogdan Martin, the Secretary General of the UN's International Telecommunication Union.
AI will advance inequalities if we do not close the digital gap. 38% of Africa is connected to the internet. We have 2.6 billion people in the world not connected totally. It will cost $1.6 trillion to connect the unconnected, and President Kagame, you mentioned this as well. We need to focus on digital infrastructure. We have to invest in digital infrastructure and strive. Coming to your point, we have to have those ecosystems in place for investment. And so that means when it comes to the leaders, we also have to, and I see Claver in the room, we have to have the political will, our ECA Executive Secretary, we have to ensure that the political will is there and that the understanding of the impact of digital for the country, for the region, is understood and the investments are made. So the investment is absolutely critical. We often say that the planet is covered by a 3G or 4G mobile signal, yet we still have 2.6 billion unconnected.
By 2030, the use of AI is expected to contribute over $19 trillion to the global economy, with Africa's share projected to exceed $2 trillion. This will play a crucial role in reducing poverty on the continent, with the technology expected to create jobs for over 500,000 people annually. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive, for that report. The chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, has called on African countries to enhance AI development using the available resources of the continent. He emphasized that the continent should find innovative methods to mobilize financial resources, like the creation of a fund for digital transformation on the African continent. William Evans Mutawazi with more.
We haven't even begun to fully appreciate the emergence of this age.
According to Mr. Strive Masiwa, founder and executive chairman, Econet Group, the African continent has a lot it can do to fully appreciate the AI age, beginning with the school system.
We haven't even begun to fully appreciate the emergence of this age. But there's a lot we know we can do. Our education systems of reading and writing are now obsolete. We need to start there. We will not have a place at this table if our kids can't do maths and they can't code and they don't do science in school. And we keep wanting to speak French and English. No, sir. We have to go back and focus fundamentally in the education system. That's where we start. Okay? Our young people, we have to skill them. We can be hustlers, yes, and we're a continent of hustlers. But a hustler with no skills in the age of AI will sleep hungry. Okay? We need to skill them. And the tools are there right now. It's not tomorrow. We can skill millions of our kids for the age of AI. The future comes from young people building apps, solutions, small businesses every day across this continent using AI. They are the digital natives. We just have to give them the ability to do what they do best.
The Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora in Kenya, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, revealed that the greatest achievement of AI on the African continent, if it focused on food security and health, calling on African governments to invest in affordable gadgets for African youths.
Focusing on food security and at the same time health. for the people on this continent. I think that would be the greatest achievement that we can come across. Thank you. We have seen that you're not going to get the young people back to agriculture unless you have a sweetener, and the sweetener is technology. And that speaks to so many other areas as well. We launched a program in Kenya of having 100,000 community health workers. These are young people. Now, when you talk to them, they say they want to be tooled, not with the basic issues as well, but they want technology so that they can provide better service to the people. So clearly, we must appreciate that if we have to get our young people fully involved, then we must tool them and we must invest in affordable gadgets for them. That, I think, is extremely critical.
In a call to action, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mohamed Ali Yusuf, urged African countries to leverage the continent's available resources to enhance the development of artificial intelligence and innovate financial mobilization strategies, including the establishment of a fund dedicated to digital transformation in Africa.
This morning, someone mentioned that the sovereignty of AI on the continent was a myth, and I'd like to refute the statement. And as mentioned, as indicated His Excellency Fonya Simbe, we need to move forward to make sure that the African continent adopts these development policies, and particularly in regards to AI development with the available resources. And we can mobilize these resources. As an example, the U.S. invests $285 billion in AI, and this on an annual basis. In China, it is $95 billion. So what we need on the continent is to mobilize financial resources, and we'll need to find innovative methods to mobilize those resources. And I must congratulate the creation of a fund for the digital transformation and the creation of a fund for the AI, which should stem from this summit, that will go towards the development of AI on the continent. There are regulatory frameworks which do exist, and we shall do our level best to mobilize resources and create new partnerships and make sure that the youth in Africa be tooled to develop its own enterprises, its own startups pertaining to AI. And I will stop here for now. Thank you.
The Global AI Summit on Africa, happening for 2 days, is focusing on how AI can be harnessed to create inclusive economic opportunities, foster innovation, and enhance the skills of Africa's workforce. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
The Ministry of Unity and Civic Engagement assures Rwandans that preparations for the commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi are progressing well, both in Rwanda and abroad. It also encourages Rwandans to participate in the planned activities and to support and comfort the genocide survivors during this period. We have more.
In a press briefing preparing for the 31st commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, the Minister of Unity and Civic Engagement, Dr. Jean Damascene Bizimana, reminded that during the commemoration week, no entertainment activities will take place. He urged Rwandans to participate in the commemoration activities and to support and comfort the survivors of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi.
Icyo dusaba rero nuko abaturage bose bitabira ikiganiro cyo ku itariki 7 mu midugudu yabo.
We
request that all citizens attend the dialogue scheduled for the 7th in their respective villages and actively participate in it. Additionally, we ask that they present and also comfort the survivors. It is prohibited to open bars from the 7th until the activities at the Kigali Genocide Memorial are concluded. People are allowed to continue their activities in the afternoon. We also emphasize that as per the law regarding commemoration activities, all forms of enjoyment and entertainment, such as games, sports, or even weddings, should be suspended during this time.
igamije kwishimisha gusa ubukwe n'ibindi byo ntabwo bikorwa itegeko rirabiteganya ko bitemewe.
Minister Bizimana also emphasized that the commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi is an initiative approved by the United Nations, and as such, it concerns all members and it concerns all member states of the organization.
Ku itariki 26 Mutarama 2018
on January 26, 2018, the United Nations General Assembly made a decision that all UN member states should commemorate the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda on April 7th every year. This is a responsibility of every country, meaning that each nation should respect and observe this date to honor the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. This resolution was not established by Rwanda, but by the international community. Countries that fail to do so will be followed up by Rwanda's diplomacy, which will seek to understand why they did not implement what the UN has established. To date, there are no major obstacles hindering the commemoration activities globally.
However, Minister Bizimana mentioned that there are some cities in Belgium where it is difficult for residents to organize commemoration activities.
There
are cities like Liège and Bruges, but in Brussels, they also have the right to commemorate and hold a walk to remember on the 7th April. This is the current situation. Other places, such as France, are also involved. There are Congolese living in France who initially wanted to hinder the commemorative activities on the 7th by planning a concert on that same day. However, to date, the French authorities have postponed the concert. The organizers tried to push for the concert, and the matter even went to the court. But so far, the court has ruled that holding the concert on that day goes against the UN's decision, meaning the concert will not take place.
Ahead of the week of commemoration, an international conference is set for April 6th. The conference will discuss the progress made in rebuilding the nation over the past 31 years since 1994 genocide against the Tutsi was stopped, as well as the ongoing efforts to fight against the ideology of genocide. Enra Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Investors from the Northern European region, which includes the Nordic countries, are visiting Rwanda to explore investment opportunities in sectors such as education, healthcare, and real estate.
These investors originate from the Nordic countries, including Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. They are visiting Rwanda through the Rwandan embassy in Stockholm, Sweden. Dr. Diane Gashumba, ambassador of Rwanda to the Kingdom of Sweden, with jurisdiction over Norway, Finland, Denmark, and Iceland, explains that this event is part of the government's ongoing efforts to foster foreign investment.
The Nordic Forum was organized with the objective to gather together investors from the Nordic countries, meaning Norway, Finland, Denmark, and Sweden, to gather them with Rwandan investors. And as you could see, we also have the academia industry that is gathered here. We have more than 6 Finnish universities, some Swedish universities that came to discuss with their counterparts from the University of Rwanda, Catholic University, and Ines Ruhengeri. We already have some partnerships that are ongoing or that has been there for quite some time. But this forum has the particularity to open doors for new projects, and I will give some examples. Tomorrow we will witness signatures of signing of a new memorandum of understanding. We will have EMS University that is based here signing with MD University. It's a Swedish university that wants to establish an African office here in Rwanda.
The investors such as Shorizand from Sweden and Jaco Halila from Finland affirm that they view Rwanda as a country with strong potential attributed to its stable policies that promote and support investment.
I'm very positive surprised of this beautiful country, so green, so clean, people hard worker, and the hope for the positive future. And this is a very good thing, and I know the government has a very big ambition and vision for the people of Rwanda. So I'm here to learn, to share.
Rwanda is a country with a lot of agriculture, but also it's a stable country, stable economy. Rwanda is a country with lots of opportunities, and I think you also invest in education.
Most of the investors are from Finland, which has 38 out of the 53 investors. Teresa Zitting, the Finnish ambassador to the East African community, explains that they are attracted by Rwanda's reputation as a country that offers reliable opportunities for investors.
Well, this is a wonderful forum that has been prepared actually for quite some time, and the aim is here to see how our businesses from different sectors can have more opportunities to find projects together.
Divine Nakanyange, investment marketing analyst from the Rwanda Development Board, explains that reforms are underway to attract more investors.
The objective of this forum is to attract investment from Nordic countries and also to facilitate them once they are here, and also to facilitate partnership and deals between Rwandan and Nordic countries' representatives.
The discussions held on Thursday were facilitated by the Rwanda Nordic Business Forum, offering a platform to highlight investment opportunities and allow these investors to present their projects in Rwanda.
The Minister of Local Government, Dr. Patrice Mugenzi, urged universities and higher learning institution leaders to play a key role in eradicating the ideology of genocide through educating the students under their leadership, ensuring they can also contribute to these efforts. And our Gladys has more on the report.
Meeting with universities operating in Rwanda, discussions focused on the role of this sector in implementing government programs through good governance at all levels, including the local levels. University leaders in Rwanda shared their strategies, including efforts to encourage students to fight against genocide, denial, and ideology.
In Nyagatare, it's about animal husbandry, rearing of cattle, and that in college is going to be teaching that, is teaching that. What do we see as evidence that it is present there in terms of what gets transformed in the communities around? So when our students are being involved, let it be something permanent. Yeah, it is very good and very important to be alert and to be hyper active during the commemoration period. That day of 7th, that week up to 13th, the month of April, and 100 days up to July 4th. It's very good to be super active as students, because we know the difference they can make if they are at the forefront of fighting deniers of the genocide. But we can also call upon them or keep them involved all year through.
Essentially, this meeting serves as a reminder of what our universities have contributed to the Rwandan community. Therefore, we should strengthen efforts in teaching these subjects and focus on finding better ways to teach them. Additionally, we must engage more with the community to assist the local government in delivering development services.
Dufashe local government kuzigeza ku muturage.
The Minister of Local Government, Dr. Patrice Mugenzi, called for increased efforts in teaching Rwandan history to students, while also ensuring they take part in activities that advance local governance.
Higher learning institutions, in collaboration with the sectorial ministries, need to engage these students earlier when they are still pursuing their university studies to fully understand these strategies and programs and what they can offer. Higher learning institutions should educate and produce relevant and impactful graduates with the skills, knowledge, expertise, and the Rwandan values needed in their communities. Rwanda is preparing to begin its 31st genocide commemoration anniversary on 7th April, but we still have a serious menace on genocide ideology, hate speech, discrimination in the Great regions, leading to ethnic divide and massacres as it was done in Rwanda 1994. We request to be vigilant and play a crucial role in fighting genocide ideology using your students and educating them to use well social media platforms and avoid misinformation that may mislead them.
During this consultative meeting, it was highlighted that there are still challenges faced, including dependency mindset, education dropout and repetition, poverty, high rate of youth unemployment, and several others. Enra Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Ngiye kubarira rimwe kabiri gatatu itugwamo. So rimwe kabiri gatatu gwamo. One bro.
Kuwa mbere kanda akanyenyeri gatatu kane gatanu akanyenyeri kabiri urwego maze nawe ugwemo.
Ndanezerewe umunezero nsaba umutima ndakora akazi kanjye ndacatinga data ntizishira enda nawe gwamo
wikwisondeka.
Welcome back to other stories making headlines on the international scene. Heading over to the central of Khartoum, which lies in ruins, with its streets a grim reminder of 2 years of urban warfare. As displaced citizens return to a city unrecognizable, the task of rebuilding seems overwhelming, with authorities promising recovery amidst the harsh reality of widespread destruction. Al Jazeera with the details.
They have come here to bring food to soldiers guarding the presidential palace and praise their heroism. But this is about the only cheerful thing in central Khartoum since its liberation a week ago. The stench of death and an eerie silence still reign here. The streets are still littered with dead bodies. We counted a dozen in this spot alone. Most are eaten up by dogs. They belong to fighters of the Rapid Support Forces, we're told. Central Khartoum is still a no-go zone, with the army conducting a search. RSF fighters possibly still holed up inside buildings. RSF fighters were using this parking lot under one of Khartoum's largest shopping mall, Al-Waha, as a bunker and a living space. They used it also as an emergency medical center. The soldiers inspecting the place told us that they removed as many as 40 bodies of RSF fighters on Tuesday. After nearly 2 years of war, central Khartoum is unrecognizable. The bustling commercial heart of the city is now a heap of ruins. Millions of dreams have been dashed. Only a few have been allowed to come here to check on their property.
The extent of the damage is extreme. Nothing is left. The printing machines that weren't taken away have been burned on purpose, but we are determined to rebuild everything.
The army has done its share, and we will do ours as Sudanese patriots.
We didn't expect it to be standing here after we thought we'd lost Khartoum for good. So we thank God that we are back here.
This building, known as the Gold Tower, used to host the main gold market. But all this gold merchant could find in his shop is this inspection glass.
There's been complete destruction and looting. They've hurt us deeply, those evil Rapid Support Forces. May God be our protector.
Government buildings, including the Presidential Palace, the Central Bank, as well as the largest hotels and commercial towers, are all extremely damaged. The vandalism also extends to the unearthing of power cables throughout the city.